Yeah. Hello everybody. That was an awkward start to a video. Who cares? Okay, finally up, as sort of promised, is not, I wouldn't say review, thought on the latest episode of The Walking Dead. Okay, last one was called Nebraska. What was this one called? I don't care. You know it. The one that aired on February 12th? February 19th. This last Sunday. Unless you're some kind of other person. So anyways, episode starts off right where we left off. You know, like shooting people. And the only thing I'm going to say about that, whether it was right, wrong, a good choice, bad choice, dumb, stupid, whatever, is the two guys. I didn't actually notice when I was watching the end of Nebraska. I stopped paying attention, so I didn't know. I just thought he just pulled and shoot him. When watching kind of a recapped, I see they started to draw and wreck. But the thing is, like, it's just a stupidly slow draw. He's still wearing his uniform. He's obviously a cop. Draw faster, idiots. If you have a stupid slow draw, of course you gotta just blast you. He's a cop. They're fast with handguns. It's kind of what they use. It's what they're good with. Reminds me of, in Shooter near the beginning when, it's like you go inside the porch, you have to kill my dog, and then the agent is like slowly draws his gun trying to be bad. It's like, and Mark Wahlberg, it's like you got a real slow draw there. Sure, you want to like risk that? As it's revealed, he has a knife in his hand, and he's keeping hidden. So yeah, don't have a slow draw. It doesn't intimidate anybody who any combat personnel, whether they be soldiers, cops, badasses. It doesn't intimidate people. Unless, like, they are completely unarmed but even then, just drawing them fast. Of course, I don't know if it would have saved them anyways. If they drawn fast, they probably would have just drawn faster and still killed them. And yes. So then, Rick being... So what happens is the guy's buddies show up to back him up. Try and find him. They kind of hear Rick, Glenn, and Hershel scuffling around in there. Sorry, there was something about the throat for a second. Weird. So they hear them scuffling around. So they know somebody's in there, so they're calling for their friends. Searching around, trying to figure out if there's walkers ate them or whatever. And you can hear the conversation. One of them's like, well, let's just go. They probably got eaten. And the other one insists on going inside, checking the building out. See what happens. So Rick makes contact and, because he killed them, yes, but it was propagated that they drew on him. And then the guys outside debate, should we let them go on their way? Our friends were idiots. Should we go avenge them? They decide, we're going to avenge them. They decide to shoot up the house, so Rick, Glenn, and Hershel come up with an escape plan, going out the back and shooting things. I did like the moment when they hand Hershel the gun, like, you know how to use this? I know how to shoot. I just don't like to. Hershel grew up on a farm. Of course he knows how to shoot. I don't want to stereotype here, but you're on a farm. I would say an 80% chance you have a familiarity with firearms. It's just part of life, especially at his age, right? His age on a farm, he knows how to shoot. He's actually a pretty good shot. So Glenn's supposed to provide cover fire and gets shot at, but then he freezes up. And Hershel shoots a guy, but he doesn't actually kill him, he just wounds him. I mean, it was probably a bullet wound that, especially in those conditions, would have eventually killed the guy, but yeah, it wasn't an instant kill. But, I know about firearms, so that's it's very rare that you actually instantly drop somebody. Dead with a bullet. Especially firearm from pistol. So they make their escape, and then a bunch of walkers show up. So, guy in the truck says to flee, they're like, okay, one guy got shot. And then the kid, they kind of scare him off his roof tape. But he tries to get away too, but he jumps. And at first I thought he was dead. I thought he landed on, my initial interpretation, he landed on a bunch of zombies and they were tearing him apart. Then it's revealed later, he actually landed, so his leg, his calf and shin kind of were impaled by a fence post, trapping him there very effectively. So his buddy leaves him because he sees he's screwed. Hershel, Glenn, and Rick go to see if they can rescue him, as the other guy who got shot has his face torn off by zombies, literally. It's a very brief shot, but I got it. So they go to save the dude, and they debate. Hershel says maybe we should just put him down, and I'm like, well, the zombies already know you're there, so. And it would be a bold mercy. I was thinking, yeah, just shoot him or cut his leg off. I'm very fast to think of amputation because I have very little medical knowledge. Watching House, that's where most of my medical knowledge has come from. And the Middle Ages. So I was like, okay, they cut it, either just shoot him or cut it off. And so because Hershel, medical knowledge reveals to be actually rip his leg off would probably, be severe damage to the muscle, would just tear the leg up, and the damage might cause a bleed that would bleed so much they can't stop it and it would kill him. So they decided to try and amputate his leg, and Hershel starts work at that, but the zombies are way too close, and they're running out of ammo. So Rick, being the man of action, just grabs his leg, grips it up, because he's not going to leave him there. Personally, I would have just shot the kid at this point. And kid, I mean, he's probably around my age. Maybe a little younger. If I was him, I might have... Well, no, except me stuck in a fence post. I would be like, leave me because I'm not much into shooting myself. I'm into leave me a gun, and I'll kill as many of them as I can. So they rip him off, and it goes back, and meanwhile, Laurie has been in the car accident, and when she wakes up, it's already pretty horrific when you wake up in a flipped over car, but there's a walker pushing his face through the broken window. And it was a very interesting insight, and I took a moment and sat back and was like, yeah, the zombie personality is that it's a very single-focused, non-tactical way of thinking. They just go straight, the straightest line to their objective. It was constantly trying to push its face in, rather than do something like go around, pull itself out back, make a bigger hole, go around, try another entrance. It doesn't do that. It doesn't conceive of any sense of nonsense. Pray there, sort of opening here. It doesn't conceive that it's smaller than the hole, and then through sheer determination, it eventually breaks it through more and more until I can't remember what Laurie pulled out, but something metal and sharp and drives it through his eyes. But then she frees herself in the car. First, I'm like, oh, Laurie's kind of badass. But then she takes a moment to rest. One sneaks behind her and grabs her, and she barely manages to struggle away and then kill. I think, was it with it's been a couple days since I saw that episode, so I think it was a hubcap of the tire. She beats it to death. She doesn't have that. It's still a little reminder she's still a civilian, right? She stops. It's like, oh, covers, rather than, I would say, a combat-trained individual, a warrior, a soldier would. My first thoughts would be get out, check for other threats. Check that you're clear. Then move. And then she kind of wanders off. Shane chases her down, finds her, lies to her, says we have Rick, because she won't go back without Rick. So it's oh, he's already back. Goes back, and it's like, no, go back and find him. Then of course they scream at each other. Well, she screams at him for lying. Blah blah. Rick comes back and reveal they have the kid, but they've revealed they were smart and blindfolded him, so they don't know. Or, I don't know. Why not have this kid join their group? His friends think they're dead. Hershel's operated on him. He might lose his leg. We're not sure. When he's well enough, they'll give him a canteen and let him go on his own way. And Shane thinks that's dumb that he'll lead him back and there'll be a war. They're not going to track them unless... they might just have a... It would be a war, it would be a vendetta of, vengeance against these guys who killed our buddies. It wouldn't be, we're trying to save our buddy. And I think the kid would be just too freaked out and scared. He's like, well, these guys actually saved my life. Why would I go back and kill them? We don't all think like you, Shane. And Andrew's just going off agreeing with them. Seriously? Was he that good in the sack? No, but I digress. Andrew is all Shane's old disciple. Like, oh, I think you're making the right decisions, but you're going about it wrong. She agrees with everything he does. She just, his non-diplomatic way of doing it. Blah 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 blah. I do. I guess Shane is the villain. We don't like him. Shane, stop. Yeah, I feel he's being really self-righteous. I am right. Like, I know my way's not the pretty way. He's all young and like, no, I'm making the right decisions, even though I'm like lying to people and shooting things. Once I was telling an older friend of mine, I was like, yeah, and then Shane just goes in there and he's just shouting and shooting things. I'm like, so yeah, that would be me and zombie apocalypse, shouting and shooting things. I'm like, yeah, I would do well, I'd have moments of shouting and shooting things, but they wouldn't be irrational. Yeah. And Daryl has his own little journey. I like how they fit it all. You can fit all these subplots in, but it doesn't feel like Heroes. Heroes was very. It was too much of like you get 5 minutes with the character and you barely develop what's going on, and then you're on the next character and the next thing. They have these large amount of characters, but each you feel like you get a good amount of time with them. And sometimes we have episodes more focused on one another, and that's good. I like Daryl's digression. Daryl is my favorite character still. How he now is blaming Sophia's mom. I can never remember her name. Carol? Help me out, people who comment. Post her name down there. Or I'll look it up after I post this video. So anyways, because I feel Daryl, he feels responsible for Sophia, He was good to go. He was good to save her. He failed. And now it's like, what was the whole point? He pretty much states this. What was the whole point? So what? So he's decreed, I'm not going to help you guys ever again. I'll stick around with you. But, I mean, he's always been that way. He's always been the loner. Like, the one, he felt he could fit in this quest to save Sophia. He fit in among them, saving Sophia. He was part of the group. Now, that quest was in vain. He doesn't feel part of the group anymore. He again goes back to his non-acceptance. He defaults to it. I did like near the end of the episode when he kind of cleaned himself up a bit. I was like, oh, he's kind of listening, and he reveals Sophia or no Sophia. He is with these people. And the Glenn and Maggie stuff. Oh, I love them. They are my favorite couple on the show. I like Maggie. I think she is adorable. Kind of sexy. I love her accent. I still sometimes quote to myself like, "You're walker bait." That basically the conversation where she tells Glenn she loves him. But for another day. So they have a conversation. Glenn reveals how he froze up because he, like you said, he loved her, loved him. Maggie loves herself. Okay, don't want to go there. So anyway, so Glenn reveals how he froze up because he's like, now I feel, I die, then I'm hurting you. He feels a responsibility to this woman who loves him that he can't let her, she's already lost so much. He can't let her lose him. Thus, he can't take the risks. But if he can't take the risk, he can't be part of the team. He can't help the others. And so he feels that as a weakness. And then, Meg tries to make him feel better, goes in to kiss him, and he actually pushes her away. Glenn was probably my second favorite character. He actually, right now, he's tied for first with Daryl. And I like how he's got this progression. He was very much a pushover in Season 1. But now in Season 2, he is really standing up. He is taking his spot. He is not letting people give him crap. And stuff. So he goes on. And yeah, he even stands up to Megan and says, like, yeah, love me, but this isn't right. I need to do my part. But I loved the ending. The episode ended very, very well. Laurie revealing to Rick that all things Shane has been doing, and the fact that Shane is desperately in love with her, thinks the baby is his, and is pretty much planning to kill Rick. Well, she suspects as much. Accurately. And then, and it was, I felt, and it was so when she's over his shoulder and saying, Rick, Shane is a threat, he's going to kill you. Very Lady Macbeth overtones. I was like, Lady Macbeth. But I digress. My time for my video is running up. Maybe I'll post a part 2, but that was the majority of the episode. See you guys next week. Wait, over 50 minutes? Right. Quick wrap up. Never mind. So yeah, the way it was, I felt it was creepy. And Laurie, like, taking charge. How she's massaging, Rick, his shoulders, leaning over his shoulder behind him, saying, like, Shane is a threat. He is dangerous. It screamed to me, Lady Macbeth, You read Macbeth in high school. It's actually my favorite Shakespeare play, and, she's the one saying, like, be a man, kill him, kill Duncan, blah, blah, blah. And now she's saying, like, you've got to protect us. You've got to protect Carl. You've got to protect the group. You've got to protect this new baby. This baby is yours. Oh, yeah. That was the line. When he reveals to kill the guys. You killed the living to protect what's yours. This baby is yours. She wants Shane dead now. Just can't make Rick do it. It's creepy. Bye, guys.